You know that the word sincerity comes from the Latin sincera. Sincera means without wax. So in the past, when potters, they would, how do you say, their vases, mold. When they would mold their vases, until today, you see with them with that machine that they just do like this, and the machine keeps spinning, and then they can mold their vases, right? So what would they do? There were times when the vase would get dry, and you know that as long as the clay is soft, it's still wet, you can still mold it, you can still adapt it, you can still fix it. The moment that the clay is dry, there is nothing you can do anymore. The only way is to break it and throw it away. If you molded a pot, a vase, the clay is dry and the shape is wrong, there is nothing you can do about it. Because you cannot just break it and do it. You can actually break it and soften the clay and do it again. But you cannot just reshape it when it is dry. So what would the potters do in the past? In order not to waste that clay that they had used, they would use some wax. Because some of the pots, they would have cracks. After it dried, there would show some cracks there. And they couldn't be sold like that. They couldn't just paint over the cracks. So what would they do? They would get some wax, which was not clay, and fill in, and paint over it. Meaning, there were cracks in that vase, but they could not be seen. And they were sold as new, but they were not good. They were not good enough. It's like equipment that you buy sometimes in shop. They are from display units, which means they are cheaper because they have been used already, right? So the word sincere comes from sincera, without wax. The only way that God can help us, the only way to approach God, it is when we approach God sincerely. Why? Because I can come to the pastor, I can speak to Pastor Miguel, I can talk to my wife, I can say to this person, I'm so happy, I'm so strong, I'm in the faith and this and that. I can say these things, and he will not know if what I'm saying is true or not. My wife will pick it up, but even my wife, I could deceive if I want. You could deceive people if you want. We can deceive people, right? You can't deceive for a long time, but you can. But you cannot deceive God. You can't. You cannot say to God that you are feeling one way when in fact you are feeling differently. Because He knows absolutely everything. He knows who we are. He knows your words before you have spoken them. He knows your feelings. He knows your thoughts. He knows what is on your mind. The Bible says that He knows how many hairs you have on your head. Although some of you, it's very easy. Right? Some of us, me, is getting easier to God. But He knows how many hairs you have on your head. He knows. He can count, the grains of sand in the seashore. He knows everything about us. And still people approach Him with wax, pretending to be what they are not. So, the true worshipers are those who worship Him in spirit and in truth, which means with sincerity. Sincerity. Remember this word. If you want to be successful, if you want to have a proper marriage, if you want to have a blessed family, if you want to have a relationship with God, you must be sincere. Without what? Wax. Without wax. This is the guidance for a change of life. This is the guidance for you to become a new person. Because normally people come to God, they come to the church. Actually, even here, some people come, they come for the first time. I understand it's their first time and so on. They are not used to the system, how to pray. But people come and they don't want to talk about the problems. They, no, everything's fine, everything's fine. When in fact, everything is falling apart. Everything is falling apart. So, sincerity is the bridge that leads us to God. You don't need to be talking to people about your problems. You don't need to be walking on the streets or going to the bus and you sit there on the bus and you say, I'm a sincere person. Actually, I have no warts in me. You know what? So how are you, ma'am? How are you? Just want to tell you about my life. I'm having bad thoughts. Every day now I have bad thoughts. I keep dreaming about bad things. But you know what? I'm sincere. I'm telling you. Understand? Are you listening to me? Hey, everybody there in the bus, can you hear me? I'm a bad person, huh? I'm very bad, but I'm sincere. Is that what you're talking about? Are we talking about you telling everybody about your life? No, we are talking about you telling God about your life. You being sincere with God. My God, I need your help. My God, I need to be different. My God, I need this strength. My God. When this prayer is made with sincerity, it is answered. It is answered. Because that's what connects us to God. So some people, they don't see the answer to the prayers because they are not sincere. It's like that man, the sinner, who was there praying, and he was there beating his chest. Oh my God, I'm not worthy. He was there on his knees. I'm not worthy of you. And then the hypocrite, the Pharisee, the religious person came there saying what? Oh my God, thank you, I'm not like that one there. When in fact, who was the worst? He was worse than that one. Because that one was opening his heart and recognizing his mistakes. My God, I need your help. Because perfect, nobody is. When you make this prayer, help comes immediately. Immediately. The first thing that comes from God is, my child, don't fear, for I am with you. I forgive you. Like he said to Mary Magdalene, what? Go and sin no more. Your past is erased. I don't care about your past. I care about your present and your future. I don't care about what you have done in the past. Sophia did many wrong things. She sold drugs, she did this, and she told you little of what she did. Yes or no, Sophia? Very little. God couldn't care less about what she had done. God cared about what she was about to do the moment that she decided to do what was right. And this is important to you. So some people, they come to the church, they talk to God, and they waste an opportunity because they don't speak, they don't open up. So don't open up to people. Open up to God. My God, I need your help. I need your presence. I need your joy. I need your peace. When you do that, you will be answered. You will be answered. I guarantee you. He will speak in your heart. He will speak to you in such a way that you will smile, that you will see that He's there by your side, because He has never left you. God never draws Himself far from us. We are the ones who draw ourselves far from Him. Some people say, oh, Bishop, I feel God is so far from me. God has never moved. He has always been there. If I am God, I'm always here. People are the ones who what? Come closer, 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 closer to God. And others what? Draw far from God. He never moves. I don't feel the presence of God. Lately, it's like God is so far. God is never far. You have been far from Him because you have not been sincere. It's like in a relationship, husband and wife, when there is sincerity, when both sit down and they talk, they open their hearts. Maybe there is a fight there in the beginning, but how does it normally end? With a hug and say, let's change the situation now. But when there is no sincerity, you'll never be able to move forward.